the Hawthorne experiments, and this is a kind of a matrix, right? And you see that norms across the left-hand side, high norms, what does that mean? High norm? What does that mean? It means that you want to do good quality work. Your normal behavior is your theory why you want to do good quality work. What about low norms? You don't really care about work. You don't care if it's good. You're theory X. You're the people that we don't want to work here, right? Group cohesiveness. What does cohesiveness mean?
It binds together.
Yeah, it binds together. So you rip our... Trying to make a ripping sound. It didn't work. But anyway, group cohesiveness is just teams work together, right? Now here's something that's pretty cool. If you have really high group cohesiveness and really low norms, is that good or bad? No, it is negative impact. Can you imagine, anybody ever heard of gang warfare? That's real high group cohesiveness. They love each other. That's their family. But they got real negative norms, right? So that's the worst possible situation. How about you got low group cohesiveness. You don't care, you don't like, you don't want to work with these people, but you don't want to work anyway. You got low norms. Now, is that good or bad? It's bad. It's flat line, no impact, but at least it's better than the teams, right? That love working together but hate people or whatever they hate. Now, what about high norms with no group cohesiveness? Each one of you are cream of the crop, but you don't want to work together. Is that good or bad?
That's bad.
Well, it's better than the other two, right? So some positive impact, because you'll make your stuff happen even if Vicki won't cooperate. And Vicki will make her stuff happen even if you won't cooperate. It doesn't matter. She's going to get something done. You're going to get something done. You're going to get something done. You're all going to get something done, right? Okay, now what about high group cohesiveness? You love each other. You work together. You'll die for each other. You're the Marines. And you also have very high norms. You're well trained. You're the Marines, and you'll get things done no matter what as a group, and you'll bring your group along. That's the best situation, right? So, do we have that situation, anybody?
We wish we had that situation.
Okay. Well, do you have the low cohesiveness and low norms? Anybody have that? Okay. If you had that, what do? Do you train them? Do you...
I used to have that.
Okay.
I used to have it when I originally started in the department.
What did they do to you?
It was I'm the only female in the Department of Men, so that's been a trial. But there's respect growth. Respect was one of the top ones we worked on. And when they realized I had respect for them, they in turn had respect for me, and we built it together. We approached everything.
So you didn't have really low norms.
Not low norms, but we had to approach everything as
Right.
a team, and everybody becomes responsible. It's just not,
Yeah.
You're not responsible for that.
Right.
Everything together.
Okay, so most of the time when you have a team that really has high norms, the best thing you can do is split them up. Does that make sense? Because if they're low norms, they love each other, but they don't want to do work. They love each other, but they want to do bad things.
Yes, I agree with you.
Okay.
We have to split them up, absolutely.
Okay, so we have to split them up. Now think of a teacher in high school. Had these two kids in the back row, and they're always causing problems. What can she do? Get them one out of the class, or get them different classes, or separate them in a different room. And it's easier if you can think of young kids. Same thing in your workforce. If you have that situation, you got to split them up. Okay, now, what about if you have low norms and low group cohesiveness? Should you do team building? Build your group cohesiveness.
I think so.
Okay, got low norms. You're going to put them back in that block.
Work on both of them, though.
Okay, which do we do first?
I would say your norms.
Yeah, probably, because if you have very low norms and you don't work on their ethic and their morality, in some cases, you're going to end up with a gang. It's going to make your problem worse, right? So now you got this gang split apart, because that first thing, but you got these two guys split apart, been causing all kinds of problems together, and then what you want to do is build team building again? No. What you do is you try to raise their norms. Try to raise their norms individually. And so now you're in a situation, so you split them apart, you raise their norms, and now they have high norms now. They understand the error of their ways, the ones that are staying around. They see how it's going to affect them, everything's going to work together. Now what do? Now work on group cohesiveness. See, if you do the group cohesiveness at the wrong time, then you can cause a bigger problem, right? And so that's the way I look at it. Heck no. Culture's the hardest thing to change. And so, but I'll show you in a few minutes that culture is very important. Okay.